Okay, so in this video, we're in the absolute beginner path on TryHackMe and the Upload Vulnerabilities Room. And we're doing task 11, the final challenge. I've already downloaded the task files, which is just a word list for searching for file names. And we start out by heading over to joule.uploadvulns.thm. Now once we're here, normally the first thing we do is look at the source code, but because it's going to take a while, we're going to go ahead and start a Go Buster. And we'll let this run in the background while we work on the other stuff. And let's work. All right, we're going to let that run for a bit. Now back at the page, we're going to take a quick peek at the source code. Okay. Well, we can see here we have a script called upload.js. And much like the other stuff in the room, we see that there's going to be some client-side filtering done. It's going to check for file size, it's going to check for magic number, it's going to check for file extensions, etc. As we did the room, there's lots of ways around these. With the magic number, we can go in and hex edit files to make them look like something else. From the file extension, we can see it's looking for JPEG files, so it wants us to upload a picture. So there's ways around that as well, just changing the extension, for example. For now, let's pop back out of here. We can see we've got admin, assets, content, a couple different content here on our web server. So let's take a peek and see what admin looks like. Okay, so it looks like it's a page that'll let us activate modules from the modules directory, which it looks like modules and content and admin, all these are all off the root here, so this will come in handy a little bit later. Let's take a peek here and see what's in content. And it's going to say page not found. We know we're going to be looking at content and admin for this room. So let's change our directory here to search content. And then our word list, we're going to switch up to be let's see here. Upload word lists. Oh, and since we know we're going to be looking at files for let's do a X. We're going to be looking for JPEG files, so let's tell it to search for JPEGs in that directory. And we'll get that going. Now, that's going to take a while to run. I've completed this room earlier, and I just realized that on this machine I do not have Wapalizer installed. Okay. So now if we go back to our Joule page and we look at it with Wappleizer, there we go. Needed to refresh the page. When we're running Wappleizer here, we can see that this website is using Node.js. The web server is using Express, which if you click on that, you can see is an application framework for Node.js. So we're not using PHP. So all the examples we've used in the room up to this point aren't really going to help us any because they were all PHP based and this is Node.js based. So let's look for pen test monkey, reverse shells. Oh, no, it's not going to help us. Instead, let's do there we go, payloads all the things. There we go. So we'll copy this. Copy. Okay, that gets us our Node.js reverse shell, which actually let's while we're waiting for our stuff to run, let's go ahead and change this. We'll just make it port 1337. And the IP of our machine is 10. Let me double check here. 10.13.19.37. Okay, while this is still running, we're going to go ahead and let's copy this. We're going to go ahead and clear all of our history. You could easily do this just by doing Control F5 to clear the cache, but I'm just going to do it this way. And then I'm going to fire up Burp Suite while we wait. And we'll go ahead and turn our proxy on. So what we're going to do here is use Burp Suite to intercept the JavaScript that's doing the client-side filtering. And rather than try to evade it, we're just going to whack it right out of the site. So we go to Proxy. We have to go to Options, and then this first line here on Intercept Client. here's the exception list of things. We want to edit that. And right here we have JavaScript. We want to delete that out of there. And then click OK. That way, when we start intercepting traffic, we'll intercept the JavaScript as well. So intercept is on. And again, we're just waiting. This is taking a considerable amount of time. While we are waiting, let's change our shell.js to shell.jpg on the off chance that there's some server-side filtering going on. Good. All right. So we're getting there. If I recall, there are, I think, 4, possibly 5 named files in this content directory. So we'll just wait till this finishes up, and I'll edit out this extremely long time later in the video here, so when you watch this back, it won't take all day. Okay, while we're waiting for that to finish up the first time, we'll have to run this twice. So we're doing intercept here. So the first thing, we're just getting to the page. We can forward that. This is looking at jQuery. We can forward that. jQuery color, we can forward that. Background JS, that's just the thing changing the picture on the page. We can forward that. There we go. Now we've got our upload. What we want to do here is right-click, do intercept, response to this request. Okay, so then we're going to forward. Okay, and now what we have is, here's the page, but with our filter in it. So what we're going to do is just say, don't check the file size, don't worry about the magic number, don't check the extension. We'll just delete those right out of there. And then forward the page on. Forward. All right, so we're done. So we can turn our intercept off. We'll go back to turning off Foxy here. And I'm pretty sure these are the only 4 files we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and do select and upload. And there is our shell file. So we'll go ahead and choose that one. File successfully uploaded. So now our file is in there. So now we just need to go to the admin page. Okay. Close burp. Okay, so this took a long time, and like I said, we'll let this finish up here, and then we're going to run this again because the file we just uploaded will get renamed to one of these three-letter lists. So ABH, LKQ, SAD, and UAD. We're going to look for whatever one pops up that's not those. So we'll be finishing up the first run in just a second here. Okay, that took way longer than I would have liked, but this is a pretty slow VM. So, okay, so now we're going to run that again. And then I will pause the video and come back as soon as we get a JPEG that pops up that's not one of these 3 or 4. Okay, so we're at about 60% in, and now we see PIB, which does not exist in our one above. So go ahead and kill that process. And now we can start our netcat listener. We did it on port 1337. We go over to page here, and what we need to do is back up one directory with 2 dots, and then it's in our content directory, and the file is pib.jpg. We enter that, and you see we have a connection. Who am I? Root. Back up one directory, and we can cat the flag.txt, and there you have it. We have solved this room.